Hello everyone, I'm going to talk about the single design pattern. The single design pattern is a very frequently used design pattern in the software development. So the main idea is the whole project, the whole class just only have the one instance and provide a global point of access to it. And for example, one database connection class, right? It's only have one instance and needed to manage the connections. An additional instance were not unnecessary. So this is the definition about the singleton. A design pattern is a kind of like a idea. So there's two ways to create a singleton class. One is called eager initialize. The instance will initialize at the time when it's created. And the second way is lazy initialize. The instance initialized when the get instance method is called. So this is kind of like a simple example about what is the eager initialize, right? So when this is created here to create the instance. This is constructor, and this one is provide access to the single instance, right? So when we need to retrieve the instance, we need get instance. Like this. Okay, so let's see for the eager initialize. I write here. This is the eager. You can see here when it's class loaded, it will create it. This is constructor. This is only when you knew something, then it will call this one and then call this. So let's see what's the difference here. You can see the eager, right? So for this is one is the, you can check this is just only one, they are the same. So this is called the eager. And okay, so what is the lazy initialize? Lazy initialize is means when you only call this get instance, then you will create the instance. If not, even you load the singleton, it will not do anything. So this is called lazy initialized version. The instance is created only when get instance is called, and however the implement has thread safe issues in the multiple thread environment if multiple threads called get instance. So this is the problem for the lazy initialize. So we have to use different way to write the singleton. You can see here, right? So create here. Now we can try this one. Like you can see here, before the lazy initialize, we call this one. I write it there. This is the lazy initialize. It's new the instance in the get instance here. For here, I call this one, which means the class is already. Let me do this thing. Yeah. You can see here, right? Lazy initialize is already loaded the class, but we didn't call the instance. So current here is return the none, which means not created. After the get instance call, it will create an instance. You can see here. They are the two. But the problem is here, just only two, but we can try sometimes. It will happen special thing. Okay. It will encounter some thread problems. So it's when you have lots of thread, it will happen something. I write the example later. So here, thread safe. You can see here, right? This is a lazy initialize. So we can run this code. This is writing this way. And I write the 1,000 threads count to do this. We can see here. And this countdown means for this resource, we can have the, for here, right? we can have the um, thread save to access the resource so many times. You can depends on you can this here you can do other numbers. Let's see. This is true, but it will happen sometimes. See, it's false now. So this must be some thread is not here. This is red, and it will create two different instances. So this is not the singleton. So this is the issues when you encounter concurrent threads. So how could you solve these problems? There's a multiple way to solve these problems. It's good way to solve this problem. It's called like a thread safe lazy. It's called use the double check lazy. So let's see what is the thread safe lazy initialize, right? So you can already see this one. It will create multiple thread and create multiple instances. So in a multiple thread environment, if 3 threads simultaneously is called the get instant methods, they will all check the instance equal to none condition at the same time. Since the instance hasn't been created, so each thread will see the condition as true, which will lead all the 3 threads to attempt initialize. This issue occurs when not occurs when the eager initialize, because the instance is already in the eager initialize. The instance is already created when the class loads, so it will not happen. Only happen in the specific lazy initialize. Yeah. So to solve these problems, we have some solution to do this. One is use the. Sorry. How can I move this one? Jesus. Yeah. This is called the lazy initialize. And we can use the synchronize to kind of like add the lock, right? Since multiple threads may call get instant, we can add using the add a lock using synchronized keyword in the method. This ensures only one thread can enter the method at a time, but this approach is a simple if effective, as it may reduce efficiency under the high concurrence. To optimize this, we can modify the code so that only the instance step can locked. See, this is the so we can do something here. This still has some happens here, so we need to use like a double check locking use this way to solve these problems. Need double lock. Because you can see here if the instance get the lock here, right? Oh no, I mean not to synchronize at the keyboard here, but we also can get the synchronized move to the to create a new singleton here. But this way is kind of like it's not perfect, right? It's possible to multiple threads check it within the lock. So you can see here like enter the synchronize, go to the here, and see the first new, right? And another is it's also where multiple into created. So we need to double the lock. For here is the lock for the initialize. And for here is to check whether it's a none, double check the log, right? To check the synchronized none equal to true, then create it and click synchronize. Okay, so check here, oh, it's false, then we gone. So you have to check whether it's kind of like when you go to the synchronize same time in none, right? And you got the lock here, and you create a new singleton. But another thread is also go to the synchronize and check this one is finished and go to this one. And for here didn't check, it will new again. But if you double check, it's where this one. So we need a double log. So this is how the double log. If we run it, it will not happens. It's always true now. Normally it's over than 5 3 times, it will encounter false if you don't use the, so yeah. So let's see. And also we need, if we use the double check, we use the need to violate this keyword to ensure the visibility across the thread. And it means that when one thread update an instance, other threads see the latest value immediately. It's kind of like a push the database, right? You have to force it to update the data instead of you have to put the latest informations in the cache in somewhere. You have to go to the physical level. So without the violate, there's a chance that threads might see a partial construct object or an outdated values, which could lead to unacceptable behavior. By mark instance as violent, we ensure that any change to it are visible to our threads, make our singleton implements safer and more reliable. Yeah, this is a final version about the thread safe singleton with the double check log. Will log like this one. Yeah, this is the lazy initialize. And also have some ways we didn't use the log to do this. We can use like inner static, this one. You can write this way. It's also a good way to prevent it. You can see here, construct, it will not call this, it will call the holder, right? When you call this one, it will create, initialize this one. And because it's final and it's static, it will load, right? It will not load. First time generate coded the thread safe without the synchronize keyword to do this. And it will not allow to change later. And this approach is leverage the Java class lazy load loading. Ensure that a holder class is only loaded when it accessed. This is a thread safe, efficient way to improve a singleton with the locking and make an ideal solution for lazy initialize. So this method may depend on specific language, but it works fine in the Java. So, okay, this is what is the singleton design pattern here. Okay. So what is the single design pattern? So this is definition, right? Singleton pattern ensure that class has only one initialize and provide a global pointer to it. And why use this? To control access to share the resource. Yeah, this is a database port. Configuration is very often used. And how to do this is you also can, based on different needed, write different code. Eager, yes. Lazy, no. And how to make a single thread safe? We can use the eager. That is thread safe, right? That is an easy way. And also use the double check log or the this one. Saved it. There's a multiple way to do this. For the this one, you can see the singleton is right. This singleton use the enum. Enum. It's used this way to write the singletons. Right. This is because the Java JVM ensure any enum value is the initialize, so we can use that way to solve it. It's write more or less code. How to prevent this refraction, serialization, and cloning? For the refraction, we can use this one. If we have to, because it from the throw an exception from the constructor if the instance already exists, right? That is a good way to do that. What is the prevent serialization? We can implement read and resolve better to run the existing instance. So we can do this one. And also prevent cloning, we can override the clone and throw an exception. And the better way is use this way. This is also based on the JVM characters. They already designed it. It will help you to protect from those way. Yeah, this is the Singleton design pattern. And thank you.